Hello, AMAREE Women's Network and conference attendees. Thank you for inviting me to join you today as you celebrate the second anniversary of your network. I'm pleased to be here as you push forward the very essential work that helps the progress of Black and minority ethnic workforce of the NHS. You are following in the trailblazing footsteps of groups and organizations that have gone before you. You will agree that it's not an easy job. As you press forward with your stated purpose, know that you are not alone. Organizations like the Royal College of Nursing and the work that Rudi Page led 20 plus years ago and through RCN Connect, the Chief Nursing Officers Strategic Advisory Group, CNO-SAG, now in its 23rd year. I recall the day when Dame Sarah Mullally, currently Bishop of London and our Bishop of Canterbury-elect, called me to her office in 2002. She told me she knew my retirement was imminent and would I set up an advisory group to advise her on Black and minority matters when I was no longer there to advise her. That was it. A good example of strong leadership, looking ahead, and planning for the future. She did not specify the format, the number, or the grades that would form the group. She just gave me an instruction. What would you have done? Given the time frame and the mandate? Well, what I did do, I contacted the professional organizations, asked them to nominate a representative to be part of this new group. I decided that I would ask NHS regional directors to nominate a representative from the then 4 regions. My only stipulation was that their nominee would be band 7 or above. I was fully aware of the ceiling band at that time. BME nurses and midwives were still striving to get beyond the glass ceiling of band 7. Sounds familiar? I understood that I had full responsibility to make it happen. I knew that leadership involves action and knowing form, knowing what to do, not looking around, wringing my hands and hoping for a miracle. And I knew that failure was not an option. This group had to be in place, established, and working. A group that would advise the chief nurse, who would in turn advise the Secretary of State for Health and the government on BME matters and staffing concerns. Throughout my time at the Department of Health, I maintain a collaborative relationship with the many organizations and individual groups that support and advise their members. The RCN, the Royal College of Midwives, Community Practitioners and Health Visitors Association, Unison. It reminds us that many before you were bravely laying down the foundations to support BME staff in the NHS. But you're in good company. I must also give a shout out to nursing associations that have led the way over the years. Nursing Associations of Jamaica, NAJ, Barbados Overseas Nurses, Nigerian Nurses Association, Association of Guyanese Nurses and Allied Health Professionals, AGNAP, Ghana Nurses Association, Caribbean Nurses and Midwives Association, Filipino Nurses Association, UK. I could go on. Today, as we look forward, I want to touch on some directions as to how your network may wish to move forward in the current climate in the NHS. As we explore workforce to community integration, we need to unpick this. What role does AMAREE Network play in getting relevant messages to the community? We know that the future focus for provision of care by the workforce to the community will be through neighbourhood health centres. Here we have the familiar terminology, but with a new intent: integration. In time, the community will come to understand what this means: access, engagement, and expectation. The community will also continue to expect the high standards and high level of quality services. Partnership working at its best, more team working and less professional group tribalism. As a network, you have set out your purpose, your mission. You have identified intended outcomes. You want these outcomes to positively impact your membership and progress. The service you provide for patients and the NHS staff, and above all, how your contributions to healthcare impact on your community. The workforce of which you are a member therefore expects you to be a health advocate in the community. And so I invite you to think of ways and activities that will make this happen. How will you get health messages across? What social media platform will you utilize to bring developments to the attention of the wider community, as well as family members and friends? Please do not think it's not your job, because in today's world, you are a network and you have an influencing role to play. I would also remind you that within that role, you have an important opportunity to support communities and organizations by delivering key messages. Informing groups by sharing up-to-date information and alerting groups and family members of up-and-coming changes in health policies that will impact them. And no, you're not leaking secrets unless it's to the press. You are talking to family, friends, and local groups such as faith communities, churches, mosques, and synagogues. So what approach should AMAREE Network take? I want to start with 3 positions: attitude, ambition, and achievement. The word attitude has certain negative connotations. You know what I mean. More often than not, those who judge use it as a framing word, a sticker, to justify their behavior, to attempt to position a sense of superiority while ensuring that the other person feels duly subdued. Rather, I'm going to look at attitude as a tool to help to spur you on onwards and upwards in your career journey. This aspect of attitude requires you to be well informed, to be well presented, to be courteous, caring, and conscientious. This aspect of attitude means demonstrating integrity at all times, giving support to others, being known for keeping your word, sharing knowledge which you have acquired through constant reading and avid research, being cool, calm, and collected under pressure, taking a role of leading the next generation of achievers in the NHS with confidence and aplomb, helping to make the NHS a better workplace with a workforce that understands the psychology of the work environment. That's the version of attitude I'm speaking of. Moving on, let me address the matter of ambition. What does ambition mean for you as an individual and as a member of AMAREE Network? Let me suggest it starts with curiosity. So how curious are you? What level of reading do you do spontaneously? How self-directed are you? Do you actually aim at the progress you want, or do you aim at it? Do you have a wish list or bucket list? Or do you just have hope? The type of hope that suggests you do not have to do much, say much, because you believe you will be helped and rescued. On this journey, there are no passengers. Progress requires your participation, your involvement. Along with the ambition and curiosity, there's also determination and persistence and resilience. Determination to overcome, curiosity to learn more and succeed further. Sometimes it helps to use other strategies, such as submitting an unsolicited report or letter to your boss or to your boss's boss, updating him or her on projects that you're involved in. This opens up a gateway for exposure, for communication, and for visibility. This action should be used judiciously, or you could be accused of overreaching. So timing is key. These are basic elements of ambition, which when applied to everyday action, brings growth. The heights that great men and women reach and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards through the night. I cannot sufficiently stress to you the importance of learning and applying the knowledge to everyday practice. My third aspect I wish to bring to your attention is achievement. When we speak of achievement, we immediately think of our CVs and the story it tells. We also think of the resistance, the progress we experience, and the trauma we feel over those who blocked us, mocked us, and those moments in meetings when we encounter difficulties in getting our voices heard. From time to time, we look back with quiet pride and reinforce confidence and reflect on the positive contributions we have made to patients' care. We share those stories with loved ones and communities. These stories form part of our collective memories and inform our communities of practice. To paraphrase Maya Angelou, we may not remember what people say to us, but we remember how they made us feel. This brings to mind the serious responsibility of self-care. These behaviors and activities that enhance self-care must be prioritized. They must be ingrained in our daily and nightly habits. We must not promise to do. We must be defined by our personal standards, no matter what. I do not presume to have all the answers to achieve perfect self-care, but I would suggest it calls for a positive mental attitude, the avoidance of burnout, and encouraging family and communities to do the same as much as possible. Lead by example. Our achievements and accomplishments speak to our progress. So, AMAREE Network, this brings me to my favorite topic, mentoring and talent spotting. Preparations for achievement can come in many ways: cramming, extra tutoring, shadowing, and even stealing the occasional good idea. This requires you to give credit to the originator of the idea. Trust me, you always know when someone has used your work without reference or credit from whence it came. But let me suggest another way to advance your progress. Being mentored, not for life, but for key periods of your career. Membership is a path to higher success and achievement. It's the beginning of a mindset that sets a progressive pattern towards your approach to your growth and career advancement. Recently, I was reminded that I shared this advice with a friend some 25 years ago. Get yourself a mentor and learn from their experiences and achievements. And so I repeat myself today to the AMAREE Network. Get yourself a good mentor. Before I conclude, I would like to acknowledge the work that Rudi Page and his team are doing with Faith Research Network and their partners, supported by the National Institute of Health Research, including Workforce Community Integration Research Forum and Women's Healthcare Research Alliance. These communities lead programs of focused research activities and intervention, and signals the way forward for ensuring communities of practice are at the heart of progress within local communities. Sharing knowledge, asking questions, assisting professionals as they walk the walk while doing the talk. I would also wish to congratulate him on the Passing the Baton program currently in development with AMAREE Network. This program will search for the future leaders who, as BME professionals, will take forward progress of BME staff and development in the future NHS. So, AMAREE Network, as you celebrate your second anniversary, let me congratulate you on this milestone. I look forward to watching your growth and success as I cheer you on to greater achievements. I exhort you to reach out as you reach up, pull as you climb, and always remember to send the lift back down for those waiting on the floors below. Thank you.